who should execute on work plan initiatives. This one's tough. I once I once worked with an investigator who I wanted to assign work plan initiatives to this person, but he couldn't get out of his own way because everything just, oh my God, he just like wanted to jump down the rabbit hole, like investigate the hell out of everything. And I was just like, no, like we want to open cases on that. Yes, but the work plan is to figure out, do we have a problem? What is the problem and how are we going to address the problem? The problem may be we are opening 5 cases as a result of that issue, but I don't want you to work all those 5 cases. So you do have to kind of look at your team and make an assessment, because a lot of where this lives is within the SIU, is within your purview. And if you're an FWA director or a manager or a supervisor and you're tasked with executing on any of these initiatives, you want to be able to say, I have the person who I know is going to be able to take this to completion. You got to also ask yourself, do you need anything from other teams? So we mentioned pharmacy earlier. Some organizations, their SIUs have full access to pharmacy data, and others they don't. So you've got to request it. You've got to get it. So figure out who on other teams do you need to tap in order to get the information for you to be able to complete your task and say, like, all right, my accountability action item done. What does your existing workload look like? And again, remember, we mentioned in the beginning that this is not, a distraction from your existing workload. This is not supposed to replace the work that you normally would do, in the SIU. This is an enhancement to your work. It's an add-on piece. So when you think about your existing workload, you've got to, factor that in. Jess was saying, like if you've got too much stuff going on this year, you may not want 12 things on your work plan. You may just want 4. And I would promise you that if you start small, you just need this work plan to go, you just got to go through it one time. And you'll start to realize where you're going to be running into some issues and where you're going to have an easier time sort of getting through, and you'll start getting a feel for it. So go through it for a year, plan it out and figure out, like, all right, who are my stakeholders that actually care about these initiatives, because they're sometimes going to be the ones that spread the word, right? When you hear something good, you tend to tell 7 people. Happens at the health plans as well. People start bragging about you. So think about these things. And I use the word tenacity in this. Just mentioned, like how we love taking our personality tests. One of the most recent ones that we did was it Lencioni?
6 working geniuses.
The 6 working geniuses, Patrick Lencioni. And this one was really neat because it actually spells out the word widget. And I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but God knows I can. But tenacity was that one thing that allows you to take something from the point where somebody's like, all right, I need you to handle this, and take it right to the end. And that's such an important piece of it. It's not something that I do very well, apparently, because I did not score high on the tenacity one. But it's something that's very important. So when you look at your team and say, who do I task with this? Look at who can actually get goals accomplished, because sometimes you want that quick win in the first year so that you can showcase the value. Keeping all that in mind, you are your internal team, right? You've got your SIU team, and then you've got other teams outside. And I know that you can't control all the things that are happening outside SIU. And that's where inviting the conversation is really, really important. We've talked about this a lot over the course of just Integrity Advantage 7 years, right? We've talked about inviting the conversation, bringing people to the table, just saying, this is what we do. This is why it's important. This is why it should matter to you. But make sure that those people that you've invited to the conversation start hearing a little bit more about what you're doing, because they will start to care more.